Bienvenidos!
Thank you for joining us today on Tourist Daily.
Today we're visiting India
and El Salvador.
Our first segment is Culture in India.
India's value system. Should even one's enemy arrive at the doorstep, he should be attended upon with respect. A tree does not withdraw its cooling shade even from the one who has come to cut it. Mahabharata. Although most you will encounter will consciously try to uphold this tradition, there would be world peace if we could have a nation that adhered perfectly to any religion. This is an example of Indian traditional clothing. However, Indians do wear Western clothes, especially in cities and schools. There's also a great combination of both Western and Indian styles in both casual and formal wear.
Many educated Indians know English, but if you come across some that don't, here are a few terms that can help you. Namaste.
Hello,
Kya hal hai?
which means how are you?
Dhanyavad.
Which means thank you. So what is there to do for fun?
Well, there are many holidays. One holiday is called Holi, and it's celebrating the coming of spring. It's basically celebrated by throwing colors at one another. Another holiday is Diwali, which is the New Year, and that's celebrated by lighting up one's houses in the lakes and rivers close by. India is also home to the biggest movie industry in the world.
What is there for tourists to do?
Oh, there's so much for tourists to do. One of the things they can do is visit the Taj Mahal, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Another thing that they can do is visit the unique and diverse cities of India. Every state has almost a different culture, so traveling different cities is a unique experience. India has almost every biome. There are deserts, cold mountains near the Himalayas, beaches, fields of yellow flowers, and even tropical weather.
Ooh.
You mean hot?
Now let's switch to El Salvador.
What do I wear?
In El Salvador, most people are dressed similar to us, so you don't really have to worry about finding something to wear. But you will need to learn Spanish, or at least know a few sentences.
You could say, hello.
In Spanish, hola,
How are you?
¿cómo estás?
Where's the bathroom?
¿Dónde está el baño?
And tourist attractions?
A lot of people like to visit the beaches. If you like to surf, a great place to go is Punta Roca. If you like to hike, you can hike up El Imposible. You'll be able to see El Salvador's beautiful nature at work.
What holidays do you celebrate?
That's a good question. One of the holidays they celebrate is Las Fiestas de Agosto, which means the August parties. For the boring stuff.
The per capita GDP of El Salvador is greater than India's. However, India's total GDP is greater than El Salvador's.
In El Salvador, the literacy rate is more uniform throughout the nation.
The standard of living greatly varies throughout parts of India, as illustrated by the literacy rate varying in different states.
El Salvador has a greater per capita because it has a smaller population, which results in more resources being distributed to each person. As a result, the infant mortality rate, unemployment rate, and life expectancy depicts a greater standard of living.
India is a leader in exporting raw materials such as coal. It's the 4th largest.
El Salvador focuses on industry that does not yield as much profit.
In both countries, city life is greatly influenced by developed countries, while in rural areas, the country's native culture is more dominant.
Rural areas in El Salvador were influenced by Spanish colonization, which affected their language and clothing. Agriculture is deeply ingrained in their lifestyle to the extent that it influences all parts of their culture.
The quality of life in India varies differently between its classes. However, in all parts of society, the idea of luxury is ingrained. With increased industrialization, the rate of citizens consuming less than 2,400 calories a day is increasing, and the environment is negatively impacted because the country's government does not have enough laws which regulate industrialization.
Because of the agriculture in El Salvador, there's not much industrialization nor investment in research, which equates to less pollution in the environment comparatively. Those under the poverty line in the U.S. still have access to food and education through welfare programs, unlike in India and El Salvador.
This provides the impoverished in the U.S. a chance to escape their lower standard of living and move up the social ladder.